चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we'll read from Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 8th verse. You can repeat after me. Paritranaya Sadhunam
Paritranaya Sadhunam
Vinashaya cha dushkrutam
Vinashaya cha dushkratama
Dharma samsthapanarthaya
Dharma samstarpanarthaya
Sambhavami yuge yuge.
Sambhavami yuge yuge.
Paritranaya Sadhunam
Paritranaya Sadhunam
Vinashaya cha dushkrutam
Vinashaya cha dushkratama
Dharma samsthapanarthaya
Dharma samsthapanarthaya
Sambhavami yuge yuge.
Sambhavami yuge yuge.
Paritranaya Sadhunam
Paritranaya Sadhunam
Vinashaya cha dushkrutam
Vinashaya cha dushkratama
Dharma samsthapanarthaya
Dharma samsthapanarthaya
Sambhavami yuge yuge.
Sambhavami yuge yuge.
Anyone would like to recite the verse?
Paritranaya Sadhunam
Paritranaya Sadhunam
Vinashaya cha dushkratama
Vinashaya cha dushkrutam
Dharma samsthapanarthaya
Dharma samsthapanarthaya
Sambhavami yuge yuge.
Sambhavami yuge yuge.
Paritranaya Sadhunam
Paritranaya Sadhunam
Vinashaya cha dushkratam
Vinashaya cha dushkratama
Dharma samstarpanarthaya
Dharma samsthapanarthaya
Sambhavami yuge yuge.
Sambhavami yuge yuge.
Okay, we'll go for the synonyms. Paritranaya,
Paritranaya,
the deliverance.
for the deliverance.
Paritranaya,
Sadhuna,
Sadhunam,
of the devotee.
Sadhana
of the
of the
devotees.
devotees.
Vinashaya,
Vinashaya,
for the annihilation.
for the
The
annihilation.
Cha,
Cha,
and
and
dushkrutam,
dushkritam,
of the miscreants.
of the
the
miscreants.
miscreants.
Dharma,
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 principles of religion.
principles of
principles of
religion.
religion.
Samsthapanarthaya,
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 to re-establish.
to
to
re-establish.
re-establish.
Sambhavami,
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 I do appear.
I do
to
appear.
appear.
Yuge yuge,
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 millennium. Sorry, yuge millennium.
yuge,
yuge,
millennium.
millennium.
Yuge after millennium.
Yuge,
Yuge after millennium.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. Purport. According to Bhagavad Gita, a sadhu, holy man, is a man in Krishna consciousness. A person may appear to be irreligious, but if he has the qualifications of Krishna consciousness wholly and fully, he is to be understood to be a sadhu. And dushkratama applies to those who do not care for Krishna consciousness. Such miscreants or dushkratama are described as foolish and the lowest of mankind, even though they may be decorated with mundane education, whereas a person who is 100% engaged in Krishna consciousness is accepted as a sadhu, even though such a person may be neither learned nor well cultured. As far as the atheistics are concerned, it is not necessary for the Supreme Lord to appear as he is to destroy them, as he did with the demons Ravana and Kamsa. The Lord has many agents who are quite competent to vanquish demons, but the Lord especially descends to appease his unalloyed devotees who are always harassed by the demoniac. The demon harasses the devotee, even though the latter may happen to be his king. Although Prahlad Maharaja was the son of Hiranyakashipu, he was nonetheless persecuted by his father. Although Devaki, the mother of Krishna, was the sister of Kamsa, she and her husband Vasudeva were persecuted only because Krishna was to be born of them. So Lord Krishna appeared primarily to deliver Devaki rather than kill Kamsa, but both were performed simultaneously. Therefore, it is said here that to deliver the devotee and vanquish the demon miscreants, the Lord appears in different incarnations. In Chaitanya Charitamrita of Krishna Rasa Kavirasa, the following verses, Madhya 20 263 to 264, summarizes these principles of incarnation. सृष्टि हेतु ए मूर्ति प्रपंचे अवतारे से ईश्वर मूर्ति अवतार नाम धरे मायातीत पर व्योमे सभार अवस्थाना विश्वे अवतारी Dhare Avatara Nama. The Avatara or incarnation of Godhead descends from the kingdom of God for material manifestation, and the particular form of the personality of Godhead who so descends is called an incarnation or Avatara. Such incarnations are situated in the spiritual world, the kingdom of God. When they descend to the material creation, they assume the name Avatara. There are various kinds of avatars such as Purusha avatars, Guna avatars, Leela avatars, Chittavesha avatars, Manvantara avatars, and Yuga avatars, all appearing on schedule all over the universe. But Lord Krishna is the primal Lord, the fountainhead of all avatars. Lord Sri Krishna descends for the specific purpose of mitigating the anxieties of the pure devotees who are very anxious to see him in his original Vrindavana pastimes. Therefore, the prime purpose of the Krishna Avatara is to satisfy his unalloyed devotees. The Lord says that he incarnates himself in every millennium. This indicates that he incarnates also in the age of Kali. As stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the incarnation in the age of Kali is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who spread the worship of Krishna by the Sankirtana movement, congregational chanting of the holy names, and spread Krishna consciousness throughout India. He depicted that this culture of Sankirtana would be broadcast all over the world from town to town and village to village. Lord Chaitanya, as the incarnation of Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is described secretly but not directly in the confidential parts of the revealed scriptures such as the Upanishads, Mahabharata, and Bhagavatam. The devotees of Lord Krishna are very much attracted by the Sankirtana movement of Lord Chaitanya. This avatara of the Lord does not kill the miscreants but delivers them by his causeless mercy. Translation once again: to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. So let's see the verse. So yesterday we saw Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya. So here in the 4th chapter, first Krishna starts saying this transcendental knowledge I have given to Vivashwan, and Vivashwan to Manu, Manu to Ikshvaku. Then after that one, like Evam Parampara Praptam, like it says, like, it comes, like this knowledge comes in from the Parampara system. Then after the third verse, it goes, third verse, third verse is goes, I'm telling this transcendental knowledge to you, Arjuna, because you are my devotee as well as my friend. So then Arjuna, after that one, Arjuna asks the question, like, how can I believe, like, if Vivaswan was really old and you are born here, and how come I know, like, you gave this knowledge to Vivaswan. So I, in the beginning, you instructed the science to him. Then Krishna again answers that question, like saying, you have taken many births, but you don't remember, but I remember each and everyone, each and everything, not about only me, but all about all the living entities. So here the omnipotence of the Supreme Lord disclosed in this verse. Krishna himself is saying, like, Bahuni me vititani janmani tavacharjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natvam vetta parantapa. I know tanaham veda sarvani, I know everything, but natvam vetta parantapa. Parantapa means of subduer of the enemy. You don't know. Then after that one, Ajopi Sannavyayatma, this comes like, Krishna's transcendental qualities. He is unborn. Although he is unborn and his body is transcendental, he never deteriorates. And Ajopi Sannavyayatma Bhutanam Ishvaropi Sanna Prakritim Swamadishtaya Sambhavamyatma Mayaya. It says, like, I'm Lord of all living entities, and my internal energy, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Then after that one, Krishna explains about yada yada hi dharmasya. So reasons for why he appears. So the few reasons he gives in that verse says, wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of religion, at that time I descend myself. So main thing is two reasons here. It says, like, decline of religious principles and predominant of religion happens. So these two, and now in this 8th verse continues giving the reasons why Lord appears and to this material world. So it says, let's see the verse, Paritranaya Sadhunama. Paritranaya means to deliverance. To whom? Sadhu. Sadhu means the devotees. So Prabhupada gives in his lecture, Sadhu means who know how to prepare the next body, how to prepare, how to use the life to for the preparation of the next body or next birth, or how to who knows the goal of life, how to get rid of these life problems like birth, old age, disease and death, how to get rid of this, like, repeated cycle of birth and death. That person is called as sadhu. Even in the Padpat also, very first line it says, according to Srimad Bhagavad Gita, sadhu is a man in Krishna consciousness. So so that is the definition of sadhu. Sadhu means the devotee who knows what is the goal of life and what is the purpose of life, what he is working on for what the sake and everything. So basically he knows his present life is a preparation for the next body. So otherwise he will surrender to the Lord and live according to the Krishna's will. So to deliver that kind of devotees, Lord comes. That is the first reason. Then Vinashaya dushkratama. Vinasha means annihilation, destruction. So to whom he to destroy the to annihilate the dushkruti. Kruti means getting some materialist work, like, getting some good merit, like punya, like that. Dushkratam, there are two, Sukruti, Dushkruti. Sukruti means getting good merit, like, Dushkruti means like miscreant, getting, like, merit of sinful activity, like all the sins, like, here Prabhupada, like in the Bhagavad Gita also related to this miscreants, it comes like, one verse, Namam Dushkritino Muda. Dushkruti, there also comes. Prapadhyante naradama, maya pahruta jnana asuram bhavam ashrita. So the dushkruta means, like, who have who is sinful activity, who has the propensity or who did sinful activities, and who have mentally who don't accept Krishna, also dushkruta means like mentally or physically all. So to annihilate to annihilate that kind of dushkrutas, Krishna comes, Lord descended himself to this material world. This is a second reason. So Prabhupada explains in his lecture, Vinasha means, see, Prabhupada takes an example of a mother and a child. So if mother has two childs, and if one child is sick with a disease or some inconvenient of the body, and mother supposed to give a food to both childs, and she goes to the diet to the child who has a disease, and she gives the normal food to the normal child. But it's not she restricts the food to that diseased son, because that is the one which needed for the child. Even though the child insists, I want that one, but mother stops that one for the benefit of the child. So is that means mother is very partial or very rude or very negative way treating the child? No, it's a benefit for the child only. Mother is restricting to give the food to the deceased son. So in the same way, even Lord comes to vinashaya dushkrutam. That vinasha is also the benefit for the dushkrutas, because see, killing Prabhupada gives examples in the purport Ravana and Kamsa. So there are the demons Ravana and Kamsa. So to kill Ravana, Lord incarnated as Lord Ramachandra, and to kill Kamsa, Supreme Lord came as Krishna. So even though the Krishna kills the demons, it's for their benefit only. So Prabhupada gives one more example of Prahlad Maharaj and the son of Hiranyakashipu. So these Vinashaya Dushkrutam, there are different levels. Some are like atheists. They don't accept the supremacy of the Lord, and they don't accept someone is lording this whole creation. They think they are lording. They think they have free will. They are the bosses like that. So that kind of mentality is also Dushkruti, miscreants. And there are some other torturing the devotees, in our present, the kings in the history, Aurangzeb and everybody, they spoil the whole temple culture, temple deities and everything. That is also miscreants. So here, Hiranyakashipu, he tortured the devotees. He stopped all the worship of the Lord Vishnu, and he himself declared, I am the Lord. Every temple should have my deity. Everyone should chant my mantras, worship me, because if a person have a little power, he feels that when he has a full control of everything. So Hiranyakashipu thinks himself pride himself, see, all these demigods, they are surrendered to me. So due to that one, what he thought, he is the one, nobody is supreme, I'm the supreme, everybody should worship. But thing is, these miscreants, they don't know Krishna comes in the form of a time destroys everything. So they don't last forever, whatever they think, that's why these miscreants, the level of miscreants, if you go in detail, there are different levels. But as per the examples given by Prabhupada, Hiranyakashipu is one miscreant who tortured the devotees. At last he himself tortured the son, his own son. So when this pastime happens in Srimad Bhagavatam, this was the question Parikshit Maharaj put in front of Sukadeva Goswami. How can a father torture, or how can a father try to kill his own son? What made him? Parikshit was wondered, when Sukadeva Goswami outlined, he said Hiranyakashipu, he tried to kill Prahlad, his own son. Then this is the first question he put: how come a father can kill his own son, try to kill his own son, or kill his own son? But thing is, with Krishna's mercy and Lord Nrsimha's mercy, the Prahlad is coming back whatever he tries. So that is that kind of mentality is also miscreant, giving troubles to the devotees of the Lord. So Vinashaya dushkratama. So Lord comes to Vinash. To Vinash means to kill that kind of miscreants. So killing that kind of miscreants is benefit for them only. So because like Lord Nrsimhadev comes and kills Hiranyakashipu, then what happened? By the touch of the Hiranyakashipu him itself, like, afterwards Prahlad even asks, like, you have any boons? Means Prahlad comes like, no, Prahlad, I don't have any boons, please liberate my father. Then Narsimha says, by the touch of mine, like, he already liberated. Not only he, like, you became a devotee, like even generations liberated before and after you. So it's kind of like benefit of the Vinashaya also. So even though the mother treats the deceased son and the normal son in different way, but their benefit only. So her treating differs for the welfare of the child. So same thing, Lord comes like as Krishna says, two reasons: to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants. In whichever way he comes and he treats, it's for their benefit only. So even Krishna Lila, Krishna kills lot of demons in his childhood, and each and every demon got liberated in one way. Like, some may get like Sayuja, which is not anybody not aspire for that one, but still one step ahead for the demon, like who is like, in a miscreant way, it's one step ahead to go towards to the spirituality, right? So maybe they can come back and they can try. So the touch of this Krishna is a transcendental, like, that's why Putana is also got liberated by the touch of Krishna. So by killing in the hands of Krishna, like, everybody, all the demons got liberated. Even in Kurukshetra, Bhishma offers prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam, saying that one, you are in the battlefield, whoever, like, saw you and they die in the battlefield, everybody got their swarupa. Swarupa means the constitutional position. Every soul has a unique relationship with Krishna. So every soul whoever dies in Kurukshetra battlefield, as because of they saw you, that's why they got their own swarupa. So that, like, this was one prayer, one more. Bhishma offers 10 important prayers, 10 verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam. In that one verse is this one. So just by taking darshan of Lord, when they die, they get the liberation. And Krishna comes, definitely the reason is Vinashaya dushkratama, but that Vinasha is a benefit for the miscreants. That's what here it says. And but the Lord especially descends to appease his unalloyed devotees. So yeah, here it says, Prabhupada stresses, like, here it especially descends, that one. And why especially means, see, Lord has Supreme Lord has a lot of like, he's a supreme. So he can kill by the thought all these miscreants. No need to come to the descend to the material world and kill them. Even by his thought or by his extended potencies, they can kill the miscreants. But who Lord comes by his own free will to give, to reciprocate with the devotees. That is the main thing. That's why here Prabhupada says, but the Lord especially descends to appease his unalloyed devotees, because these devotees who are dedicated their lives to glorify the Lord's pastimes and activities, their bhakti is unalloyed. Their bhakti is pure, and with that pure bhakti, to reciprocate to that pure bhakti, Lord comes with his own will. And with he can take any form, like Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Vahamana, Narasimha. He can take according to his will, and according to the devotee's reciprocation, he can take any form. So that is the thing. Like the main thing Lord comes is to reciprocate to his with his unalloyed devotees, and who are always harassed by. Definitely this world is like, it's not like here you can say the the two things, it comes like, good thing and bad thing next to next. Paritranaya Sadhunam, to deliver, and immediately the annihilation comes. So it says, like Krishna already said this in the Bhagavad Gita, which is this material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. definitely this material world is dukkhalayam. So even though one become a devotee doesn't mean that one well all his position is set and he is a devotee or she is a devotee, no problems, nothing. No, Krishna never told like that, because this place where we are living is dukkhalayam. Alayam means the place, and dukkha, the place of misery, and which is ashashvatam. Ashashvatam means temporary, which is not like permanent. Shashvata means permanent. Ashashvata means not permanent, which is temporary. So if a human being feels like, I can, okay, get, okay, tries, the living entity tries themselves to make comfortable in their life, to achieve their goals, what and all it needed to make their life comfortable, and the living entity struggle to, especially human beings struggle towards to that goal, to attain the desired position. Then what will happen? Okay, now Prabhupada says like, okay, now one after the other, okay, now I am set. Now see, if example you can take anything in our lives, like, okay, now I have this goal, now I am set, I achieved, okay, now I am set, I'm comfortable now. So is the I'm all set, like that's it, I'm all right? No, not all right, because every time this material world is keep changing. We may feel comfortable, and immediately next day something else will come, not next day, next minute only something else will come. So this material world is keep changing. Nothing is like, comfortable, or even the minute one feels the comfortable, achieve the goal, next minute itself that goal will become a biggest problem. So we don't know. So that is the thing, that when one knows this, this place is like dukkhalayam ashashvatam, definitely one should take shelter where one is ultimately protected by that Supreme Lord. So these two are the Vinashaya dushkratama and Paritranaya Sadhunam, both comes. Then third reason comes Dharma Samsthapanarthaya. So Dharma means principles of religion. So in the previous verse, Krishna says, wherever the predominant rise of irreligion. So irreligion was there, adharmasya. So abhyuthanam adharmasya. So it says so predominance of whenever the irreligion dominates, then Lord comes. Here again, Krishna says dharma samsthapanarthaya, to establish the principles of religion. So what is the dharma? The dharma, it's not only dharma which is we think external. Okay, religion means like all together in social and in all the peoples outside, like, everybody should follow at least a minimum, like, human nature, like helping each other or something, courtesy or kindness, all the things. Dharma is not like, external. Dharma is internal also, because we are in Kali Yuga. So if you see, in all the four yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali Yuga. In Satya Yuga, there were like, not any enemies in the like, particularly there are no enemies between the humans, and they used to meditate, they used to live long lives. And when it comes to the Treta Yuga, the kingdoms, like, used to get in other kingdoms, they used to have the enemies, and they used to fight and acquire the kingdoms like that. When it comes to the Dwapara Yuga, within family, they used to have like misunderstandings and wars and fightings and everything. We have seen a lot of things in Mahabharata and Krishna Lila too. And when it comes to the Kali Yuga, within person there are the fights. Within person, demon and demoniac, both natures are there within a person. So dharma samsthapanarthaya means in this Kali Yuga, dharma has to establish within ourselves also. Not only it's external. So normally dharma means we see principles of religion means externally we need to establish that thing, do some external work and everything. No, even in Kali Yuga, we need to establish the dharma within ourselves. How can we establish, like, when these Kali Yuga qualities are pulling us towards to the adharmic temptations? So we see here through the senses, we have discussed a lot of things in second chapter. So when that kind of adharmic thoughts are going on, like in the form of nature of demoniac thoughts goes within us, we need to pull ourselves towards the dharma. But in that struggle, we need to pull Krishna's hand in that one. We ourselves struggle means the battle will become very hard, because we are not that much pure enough to battle against the adharmic thoughts of this Kali Yuga. So we need to take shelter of Krishna and take shelter of Shastra and Guru. They help us to, to make that battle go smooth. Because every day we go battle, like when we chant, keeping the mind to, or making the mind to listen the holy name is it's kind of a battle. We are battling every day. We are a warriors, we need right weapon, to make that mind to listen the holy name. So that is one kind of thing. So mind may say, like, you go here and there, you go here and there and all, but pulling that one to the dharmic way, in the to the sadhana, mind plays things. Why you are chanting? Go something and do and all. Why you are sitting here? Our mind makes in such a way that when you are doing hard, so the people are going out. Like, mind plays lot of tricks, but to pull that mind towards the dharmic sadhana as described by the Guru and Shastra, we need help of the Guru and Guru. So especially Guru and Krishna too. So when we pull Krishna's hand into that one, to pulling our consciousness towards the dharmic activities, then what will happen? The battle becomes smooth. So that Krishna is going to help us. So dharma samsthapanarthaya is nothing but only the outside religious principles goes wrong, he comes, but even within ourselves in Kali Yuga, when two tendencies, divine and demoniac, are there, and when the mind and senses pulls towards the demoniac nature, then we need to take shelter of Krishna. So Krishna, with the help of Krishna, we can establish, or we can move towards our thoughts, towards our activities and sadhana towards the dharmic way. That is a one thing. And the next, that is the third reason. Then sambhavami yuge yuge. Sambhavami means I do appear, yuge yuge, millennium after millennium. So these are the three reasons given in this verse, to deliver the sadhus, and to annihilate the miscreants, and to establish the dharma internally and outward, both. Then now we'll see the Sambhavami Yuge Yuge, means appearance. So Prabhupada quotes here from Chaitanya Charitamrita. It says the avatara. Who is the avatara? Who is the avatara means the incarnation of Godhead descends from kingdom of God to this for material manifestation. So descends means who is coming from up higher means from the high to low, they are descending. That is the called descent. So they descends from the kingdom of God to this material manifestation, and particularly from particular form, in the particular form they comes. So that form is called as incarnation or avatara. So such incarnations are situated in spiritual world. So when they descend to this material creation, they assume the name Avatara. So we have a lot of avatars here. Prabhupada mentions. So Purusha avatars are Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, Karanodakashaya Vishnu, Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. So Karanodakashaya Vishnu is the one who meditates, or who lays down on the causal ocean, and with his inhale and exhale, lot of Brahmandas creates. And from Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, each universe comes, and he holds one universe, for each universe, one Garbhodakashaya Vishnu is there. And within the universe, there is a Kshirodakashaya Vishnu who stays as a Paramatma in the hearts of every living entity in that universe. So those are called Purusha avatars. Then Guna avatars. Guna means like quality. So Guna avatars, we have three gunas in this material nature, that is goodness, passion and ignorance. And these Guna avatars are taken controlled by mode of goodness is by Vishnu, by maintaining the universe, and mode of passion is by Brahma, by creating the people, and by creating the living entities, living beings, all the creatures in this in the that universe, and a mode of ignorance is Shiva. And the Lord Shiva is, as he is in charge of mode of ignorance, but he is not in mode of ignorance. He is a Vaishnavana Metashambhu. He is the greatest devotee of Lord Vishnu. Then these are the Gunavataras. Then Leela Avataras. Leela Avataras, we have a lot of things like, Krishna comes in the Leela Avatara. So Leela Avataras, who have the forms descends from the supreme spiritual kingdom to material world. So they teach from their Leelas. Like consider like Krishna. Krishna's Leelas are it's very tricky to understand. Even Kunti Maharani offers the prayers, you are Ajja. Even that Ajja came in the 6th verse. Ajopi Sannavyayatma. You are unborn. So you are unborn. You don't have any birth. You don't have any kind of starting point or adi antya. Like you are, but living entity, we say how old are you means we say from starting that day we took birth, from that day to here. Now we calculate the years and we'll say I'm this much old. But Lord Krishna is not like that. He is Ajja. Ajja means unborn. So the unborn takes birth to save us from rebirth. So the unborn means like, the Supreme Lord who don't have a birth, like, who don't have a birth. He takes birth. He takes birth means like, he took a birth in the womb of Devaki. So he takes birth in this material world to save us. So why he takes birth? Like, we are reading all the reasons. He takes birth to save us from rebirth. From rebirth means, so we are rotating from repeated cycle of birth and death. So Krishna comes, or avatars or incarnations comes, or to perform the leelas with that one, to make, by glorifying that leelas, pastimes, name, qualities, we get stopped from the rebirths. It means that the Leela avatars are the one, like, Krishna, if an example we can take, they help us, that avatars comes to elevate us from art to make us go back home, back to Godhead. So it's not like Lord comes and teaches us to make this place, okay, you are here, I'm coming, I'm going to save you and everything. No, because Lord comes not only to teach us about this material world, but at the same time to take us back home, back to Godhead. So imagine if we don't know avatars are coming, no incarnations are there. So to whom we glorify, and how can we take shelter of the Lord? How can we know the glories of the Lord? As the incarnations came, avatars came, we are studying with the help of sadhu and shastra, guru's mercy, spiritual master's mercy. Then we are glorifying all these leelas. So that is the how Leela avatars comes. And Shaktavesha avatars means empowered beings, like, kind of Prithu Maharaj and our dear Srila Prabhupada. So those are Shaktavesha avatars. They are empowered. They're born like a normal, but they empowered to establish some goal, or some kind of like, to spread the glories of the Lord. Then Manvantara avatars comes, like each Manu takes turns in the day of Brahma. There are 40 Manus, like, it takes turns. At present we are in Vaivashvata Manu. So for every duration of time, like some duration, the Manu changes. So the Manu is kind of avatar for that duration. Then Yuga avatars. So Leela avatars comes, they perform the Leelas, and they reciprocate with the devotees, and they teach us. And at the same time, Yuga avatars comes, they establish, the Yuga avatars establishes the Yuga Dharma for that Kalpa, or for that Yuga. So in that way, that Yuga avatars establishes that Yuga Dharma at the starting of the Yuga itself. So for this Kali Yuga, the Yuga avatar is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he appeared and he establishes the Yuga Dharma as Sankirtana, congregational chanting of holy names. And at the same time, in Kali Yuga, Lord descends himself in the form of name. Kali Kale Namarupe. So in the age of Kali, Lord comes in the form of name, holy name. So we can worship that. That's why there is no difference between name and the Lord himself. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukto Abhinnatva Nama Namino. There is no different. Abhinna means there is no different. Nama Namino. Nama means the name, and the Namino means the person who has the name. So there is no different between Krishna KRISHNA and the Krishna's form. So I'm recollecting one kind of pastime, Jagannath pastime, which happened. I think I heard like that still the pictures are there in Jagannath, Puri Jagannath somewhere. So once the businessman, like, he loaded all the ship, and he has a lot of passengers also. They're sailing on the ocean, and the natural the nature, like, it became very wild, and lot of rain came, and one person in a boat, like, he was praying to Jagannath, and he don't have anything, so he took a paper and pencil, or paper and pen, whatever he had. So he draw the Jagannath eyes and Jagannath structure, Baldev and Subhadra, all how we see on the altar, Jagannath, Baldev, and in the middle Subhadra. And he started, like, keeping that paper, he started praying to Jagannath. Then after that one, after some time, everything went smooth, and when they came to the shore of the ocean, they entered into the Puri, and they donated, like, whatever, like, asset or whatever wealth is there in that turn in the ship, they gave that one to the Jagannath temple. And still there are, like, few things, like, in the ship, he prayed, the ship owner prayed, whatever I have in the ship, I'm going to give it to you, Jagannath, like that. So he gave everything. So devotees who went to Puri, they shared this one, like, in a class. So still the boat picture and everything, what and all they gave, it's still there in the Puri somewhere. I'm not sure which temple and where, but in Puri it's there. So that, see, what made the person, the faith is, like, just like, seeing the form of the Lord, he drew the form, and he started meditating on that one. Same thing as the name and Krishna is non-different. Even the Hare Krishna mantra, whatever we see the text, there is no different, that one and the Lord in the temple. So Abhinatva Nama Namino. So the intensity or the conviction level of a devotee of the Nam, that is chanting, so that makes them to go closer to Krishna. So whoever knows there is Nam is different than person, than Krishna, especially spiritual world, like in everything, like Nam is Nama Kali Kale Nama Rupe. So Krishna's name and Krishna's form is non-different. So keeping that thing when we chant, like, so I was going through an experience, like, for last 2 days, like, if someone ignores you, how bad we feel, right? Okay, or if someone calls you to the home, and when you go, and they don't pay even much, they don't pay any attention towards you. They only called, but they don't pay any attention. They don't even ask you to come inside or something. You just go and stand at there, and they ignore, and they are doing their own chayos, and they do their work. Then how we feel, like, we don't want to stay more, we don't want to stay there. Then we wait for a few minutes, and depends on our level of tolerance, and we come back. So in the same way, when we chant, if now name and person is not different, then Krishna is, we are calling, we are inviting, but we don't pay attention. So how Krishna feels, like, we in material world, we feel so bad. Like, and I experienced it from past 2 days, like, I was feeling, oh, okay, now how Krishna feels when we call and we don't pay attention. So when we go through practically, we see that when there is not that's why, like, when we call, we chant and everything, but we don't pay much attention. We go, our mind says distract, like, we go somewhere else, and we want to do multitasking, and like, that's what will happen means. But Krishna is so merciful. Even we as a material beings, like, we feel bad, but Krishna won't feel bad. Even unattentive chanting also destroys, like, mountain like sins. It's there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So even Krishna, somehow or other, enakena prakarena, somehow or other, you connect to Krishna, you chant or you do devotional service. That's what Krishna says. So Krishna's love is like, unlimited. So in that one, like, we can think like, how many times we ignored, but still Krishna is giving us an opportunities and keeping us always in the devotees association and making us to engage in the Krishna service. So this is the how the avatars comes, and the avatars, the intention, the goal of avatars is, one is to reciprocate for the devotees, like how Advaita Acharya called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to invent, to descend to this material world. So how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reciprocated for the prayers of Advaita Acharya. So that is a reciprocation in the case of Advaita Acharya's point of view. But in the case of another, like other living beings, it's kind of like, it's giving an opportunity for all the other living entities to come and take the process of congregational chanting of the holy names and get rid of this material life, repeated cycle of birth and death, and go back home, back to Godhead. So simultaneously purposing, like, this purpose and that purpose both will go. Like Advaita Acharya's point of view, he is descending by reciprocating the prayers of Advaita Acharya, and for the other living entities of point of view, see, whatever Lord do, it's all benefit for all. We can't do that kind of work. If I do any work, I can't make everybody happy, because if human being tries to make everybody happy, that is the miserable situation we will be. So even in the office we can't make everybody happy, even in the house we can't make everybody happy, but Lord's activities makes everybody happy. Whatever situations we are in, it makes everybody happy. That is the Supreme Lord. That is where the Supreme enjoy. He is the source of all blissful. That bliss which gives like equal to make happy all the living beings, whatever situation they are. Even miscreant also will get benefit when the Lord kills him. So that is the love of Krishna. So that's where, like, all this avatars comes. So avatars descends to reciprocate with the devotees, and simultaneously to make us go back to home, back to Godhead. So that is the thing. And here here Prabhupada explains, like as stated. So avatar, there are like rules, like, avatar means there should be prediction in the scriptures, and there should be some kind of, like, bodily features. It's not kind of material bodies, like lotus feet, the symbols on the lotus feet, the symbols on the hands, are the avatars, like lifting over them. So if anybody claim they are the God, I'm avatar, I'm incarnated, I'm like what kind of avatars. So we need to check it. We should not blindly accept anybody like that. So each avatar has the prediction from the Shastra. Even from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is a prediction in Srimad Bhagavatam. I think if I'm not wrong, it's 11.5.32 verse number. So 32, 33, 34, all three verses like are the prediction for the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is the way it comes. And Prabhupada ends the purport. The devotees of the Lord are very much attracted by the Sankirtana movement. This avatar of the Lord does not kill miscreants. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful. He won't. See, one reason Krishna says, I come to annihilate the miscreants. But this avatar, Yuga avatar, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came not killing the miscreants, but delivers them by his causeless mercy. Apatradhan. He don't see, oh, you did this mistake, oh, you need punishment. No. Apatradhan. Whether you are qualified or not. Only one thing is, just turn and take shelter. That's it. If we do that one, then Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to deliver with his causeless mercy. That's where Jaga and Maidaya also delivered. So this is the very, very special avatar, Yuga avatar, which showers his mercy. And one of the reason the avatar mentions here, he don't kill anybody. He don't kill even miscreants also, but he delivers them by his causeless mercy. So everybody will get benefit by the Lord. That is the supreme love of Krishna. So I'll stop here. If anybody have any comments or questions or realizations, please go ahead. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Just a comment, you might have mentioned it, Vallabhi Gopi. So Krishna really didn't have to come for any reason except for Paritranaya Sadhunam, right? I mean, He could
Yes,
have sent anybody for killing the demons.
yes, Mataji.
So he came for the pleasure of his devotees, right?
Yeah. Anyone have any comments or Hare Krishna Pyari Prabhu and Hare Krishna Jiva Mataji? Would you like to add any comment, Mataji? Or okay. So if no one has any comments, and we will pray. We will offer prayers to the assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Namaha.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Prabhupada ki
jai.
jai.
Thank you all for giving your wonderful association. We'll meet again.
Vallabhi Gopi Mataji ki jai.
All
Hare
glory to
Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.